Good morning, everybody. It is Steve Lookner coming to you with breaking news. A vehicle, apparently a van, has plowed into a group of Germans in Munster, Germany. There are a number of deaths and injuries. We don't know yet if this is a terror attack, but a van looks like a van. You can see it in the picture here. That looks like a van to me. Maybe it's a car, but I'll have to check on that. I'm going to go with van for now. Has plowed into a group of pedestrians in Munster, Germany. A number are killed and a number are injured, and we're just going to get you the latest on that right now. Just give me 1 second to get something set up here, please, and then I will be on with you. Hang on 1 second, guys. Let me just get one thing set up before the broadcast starts, and then I'll be able to do this better. Okay, that's done. All right. So let me just get you the latest numbers here on this, and the latest. I gotta know how to pronounce this. Like maybe it's Munster. I'm going to go with Munster. Deaths and injuries reported after vehicle strikes pedestrians in Munster, according to German police. Josh Kaplan says, Der Spiegel says, German authorities treating Munster car incident as terror attack. Suspect shot himself at scene. So that is just in. According to Josh Kaplan, the authorities are treating this as a terror attack. So it looks like we have a... Now, is this a car or a van? Let me show you the picture I was looking at, and you can tell me. Here's the picture I was looking at. Now, I'm looking at that, and it looks kind of like a van to me. It doesn't look like a car so much as a van. It's in the lower right corner there. You can see a bunch of chairs scattered there, and I think it's a van. Okay, terror event says the driver of the car who rammed the crowd is dead. The driver of the car who rammed the crowd is dead. We're also hearing that the driver shot himself. Thanks, Christine Bestjen, by the way. So, Terror Events is also saying dozens of injured in an undisclosed number of deaths. Dozens of injured. That's according to Terror Events. Dozens of injured. That's a lot. Let's see what else we can get for you here. Here's a report from The Guardian. Several dead after vehicle drives into crowd in Munster, Germany. Now, I think they're treating it as a terror attack. About 30 people have been injured. There are several dead, including the suspect. The scenario is such that an attack cannot be ruled out. So... I'm going to write The Guardian. Where's The Guardian? The Guardian. So, wow, around 30 people injured and several dead in this incident where it looks like a van to me, a vehicle of some sort, has plowed into a crowd in Munster, Germany. And apparently the driver is dead. We saw a report that the driver killed himself, but I'm not sure about that. Here's a picture of it again. Again, people keep saying car. Doesn't that look like a van? Am I the only one who thinks it looks like a van? Right there in the bottom right, if that's the vehicle, that looks like a van to me. I'm looking very closely at it. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, breaking 911 saying, as we heard before, German police say the driver of a car which plowed into pedestrians in Munster has killed himself. So this is looking like a terror attack now. Let me do one thing here real quick. Just want to update some of the information here really quickly. Okay, just updating a couple things. I think that worked. Okay, so the situation again is in Munster, Germany. Looks like a van to me, a vehicle of some sort, a large vehicle, looks like a van, has plowed into a crowd in Munster, Germany today. There are several dead, reports of dozens injured. The German police say the driver of a car or the van or whatever it is has killed himself. They're treating it as a possible terror attack. And I heard another report that the driver shot himself. A lot of injuries here, too. We keep hearing reports of that. This is where this happened. You can see this post from B&O News. I'll show you this map here. Munster, Germany. There you go. So northwest Germany. They're saying at least 30 injured and multiple fatalities on B&O News. If you're hearing updates on this, you can write to me on Twitter, @Lookner, @LOOKNER. And thank you to our moderators who are moderating our chat rooms today. Okay, here's a new piece of information here. According to Terror Events, the incident in Munster occurred near the popular Kiepenkerl restaurant in the city's medieval center. Again, the incident in Munster occurred near the popular Kiepenkerl restaurant in the city's medieval city center. I'm going to actually Google that restaurant now. Hey, let me make sure you can hear me okay. Jeez. Again, the incident in Munster. Sound is working. Let me find that restaurant. Is this it? It looks like this might be it. It has 245 Google reviews. The Grocer Kiepenkerl. Looks like maybe this is where this happened. Can we get the outside shot of it? That's the inside shot. There you go. That looks like where it happened. Hang on. Hang on, folks. Let me get a better picture of this. So I believe this is an outdoor shot of where this happened. This is before it happened. Right there. That's the outside the Kiepenkerl restaurant. Oops, hang on a second. I just messed everything up. Why isn't this working? What's going on is this? Why is it behaving like that? There we go. So that is the outdoor shot, okay, of that restaurant. And if you look, that's the normal outdoor shot. And then if you look at, that's the Kiepenkerl restaurant in the city's medieval center. And then if you look at the picture we saw before of the actual incident, hang on, I can get that up on the screen for you. I think you'll see that it looks similar to that with the folding chairs. Yeah, here's the picture. So there's that shot. You can see all those folding chairs there. So I think maybe this is where it was. Nope. Hold on, hang on. Here. Because there are all those wooden chairs there. So that might be the place. The Keep and Curl restaurant in Terror Event says the Keep and Curl restaurant in the medieval section of Munster, Germany is where it happened. And if you see, there are those folding chairs, those big chairs. And there's a scene right there. So several dead. You can see from PM Breaking News, they have van rams. It's a van. They have van rams in the crowd. I was right, apparently. German media reports 3 dead and many others injured. We've heard 30 injured at least. German media reports the attack was intentional and is being treated as a terror attack. The suspected attacker killed himself after the ramming. So there's a little update for you from PM Breaking News. We are covering this live here, this apparent van terror attack in Munster, Germany. Give me a shout if you're hearing updates that we haven't broadcast yet. At Lookner is where to reach me, at Lookner. All right, this is one of our viewers. Thomas Stockholm writes in, heartbreaking to see the images from my lovely old university town, numbing and infuriating to see so many knee-jerk, idiotic comments. Now, I don't know which comments he's talking about, but it's I guess this person, Thomas Stockholm, I don't know if he's watching the broadcast or he saw my tweet, but he said this is his old university town. He's very upset about it. I'm guessing he's upset about, well, when he says knee-jerk idiotic comments, maybe he didn't know this was a terror attack and people were just saying it was terror, or maybe people were saying things about certain religions he was upset about. So I don't know. I can't speak for him, but... Okay, let me see if I can find you some more up-to-date information on this. Looks like a terror attack in Munster, Germany. Here again is the only photo I've seen so far. I'm sure we'll see more. I'm going to search around in a second of that incident in Munster, Germany. Reportedly, this happened at... So you see all the folding chairs there? Reportedly, this happened near the Keep and Curl restaurant in the medieval section of the city. There's the Keep and Curl restaurant. You can see in that photo in Munster, Germany, there are these big wooden chairs, and it certainly looks like, if you look at there, yeah, if you look at the street pattern too, the street pattern has it's like gray, it's a dark gray with lines of lighter gray. See, look at the street pattern there on the bottom, dark gray with lines of lighter gray. See? So that's also similar between the two photos as well. So it looks like this might have been the Keep and Curl restaurant, the popular Keep and Curl restaurant in Munster, Germany. Okay, now I'm going to have to search a little more. You know, I was trying. What I sometimes do when these big events happen is I'll try to have the mainstream, one of the news channels on in the background just to get updates from them as well. The problem is none of them were covering it. I turned on Fox and CNN, and they both had stopped covering this. I guess it wasn't important to them. Too much Trump to talk about. Can't stop talking about Trump. Okay, you know who's good on this stuff? Sometimes the Daily Mail gets some photos up quickly. Do they have anything? No, the Daily Mail doesn't even have the story on their site. Oh, they do. They do. They have the one picture. Oh, they have another picture. There we go. There's a photo from the Daily Mail. So that's, you can see the chairs spread out there on the ground. And in the lower right, there's a person on the ground being tended to in that shot. You can see on the lower right, there's a person on the ground. It looks like maybe the van is on the lower left. Now, I will say this, it's a bit odd. I don't know when this was taken, maybe it was well after the event. Given that we've heard that there are 3 dead and like at least 30 injured, in that shot at least, we don't really see, it looks like we see one person in the lower right and then maybe a person in the top left being treated. But if this all happened right here, you would think you would see more like blood on the ground and stuff. So I don't know. I'm a little confused. Maybe this car hit people before it hit this place, or maybe where the people were mainly hit was in the lower left out of the frame. But again, we were hearing 30 injured and several dead. But if you look at this, you wouldn't just if this was the only place where it happened, what you could see here, you wouldn't necessarily say 3 injured, 30 injured. But I don't know, when this was taken and where exactly the incident was. When was this taken in relation to the actual incident? There is a map of Munster, Germany, where this happened, from the Daily Mail. That's the other shot there. Yeah, now there's the other shot. Now I'm wondering, were the people who were injured really all and killed all crowded into that, lower right corner there? I don't know. They also say the driver shot himself after plowing a minibus into a crowd. So the driver shot and killed himself. Now, let me say this. We've been talking. The police are treating it as a terror attack. What we don't know. We don't know anything about the driver except it was a man and that he apparently shot himself after. So this could be some sort of man affiliated with a religious group, or it could be someone. Look, this could be a German citizen who we have a wonderful black screen on YouTube. I'm gonna have to say something about that now because they won't stop with this. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm just telling the YouTube viewers we're still live. So, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, and you see a black screen, I hate having to interrupt the broadcast constantly do this, but stupid YouTube keeps putting these black screens on our broadcast, and they never fix it. So I really apologize for having to interrupt the news constantly to warn you. But just ignore if you see a black screen on your screen. It's YouTube doing it. It's not us. It's not our fault. It's dumb YouTube doing it. So if you do see a black screen, the thing you can do if you want to complain to YouTube about it, we've complained to them for a year about it. For some reason, they never fix it. I know the reason because they hate us. But if you want to complain about it, all you have to do if you're watching on YouTube is go back a few seconds, pause on the black screen, right click on the black screen, click on troubleshoot playback issue, and then you just write whatever you want in the feedback form and send it. Please fix these stupid black screens on right side broadcast, because I really hate doing this, having to do this every single broadcast, is interrupt the news that we're trying to report because dumb YouTube can't fix this issue because they don't want to. Or they like it. They like us having black screens on our broadcast. So again, if you see a black screen on YouTube, you can complain like that or just ignore it. But don't think we're going off the air because we're not. It's just dumb YouTube putting the black screen on. And there it happens again. So there you have it. So again, please ignore the black screen. And they put another one up. So anyways, again, there was a second black screen. To repeat, ignore the YouTube black screens. That's YouTube being dumb. And if you want to complain about it, you can go to you can pause it on the black screen, right click on the black screen, say troubleshoot playback issue, and say that's the second. Say whatever you want. So just now you know. Hopefully you've heard me talk in between all the black screens to say if there's another black screen, just ignore it. The broadcast is still going. It'll disappear in a few seconds. So I apologize for that, guys. Sorry, it really bothers me to no end to have to interrupt the broadcast for that. But if I don't interrupt the broadcast and talk about it, then people are watching on YouTube and they see this dumb black screen and they're like, oh, I guess the broadcast is over, and it's not over. We're still here. Just YouTube is putting them on the broadcast. Okay, so let's sum up what we know so far. There was, Munster, Germany, a van, which you can see here, plowed into a crowd of people, apparently at the, right next to the Kip and Curl restaurant in the, a popular Kip and Curl restaurant in the medieval section of Munster, Germany, okay? So a van plows into a crowd of people. There are several dead and at least 30 injured. The driver of the van shot himself and killed himself afterwards. The authorities are treating it as a terror attack. We don't know anything about the driver, though. We don't know the ethnicity of the driver. We don't know if the driver is affiliated with some religious group. We don't know if the driver has like a history of mental illness. That's happened before with these kind of things where it turns out the driver is mentally ill. So we don't know anything right now about the driver. What we do know is that several are dead and at least 30 injured in this apparent intentional van ramming of pedestrians in Munster, Germany. And we're trying to get you more information here on this. I like this. Ivan Throne. I got a message from Ivan Throne, who was nice enough to write to me, but he sends me an article in German. Ivan, what am I supposed to do with this? Maybe Ivan thinks I know German. Oh, Tom Willis sent me an article from the Mirror with more photos from the scene. Okay, great. Okay, here we go. There's supposedly a reporter tweeted a video. What is this? Hang on a second. Let me see what this is before I show it to you. That's not really anything, so I'm not going to bother with that yet. Okay, this is a different picture. We've seen this shot before. From the Mirror. Again, that's a different angle. You can see the car in the lower left there and one person on the ground in the lower right. That's a different angle. We saw that before. Oh, here's a larger overhead shot. You can see many ambulances and fire responders and police at the scene. Right next to the hotel there's a popular restaurant there. This is the place where this happened. Okay. You can see that's before it happened, but it is the Clip and Curl restaurant. That's the scene. That's where it happened. That's before it happened. That's also another shot of the scene where it happened, but before it happened. And here is the after. And here's another after one. Hold on. Right there. There you go. So let's see what other information I can get for you on this. This is very interesting post by Josh Kaplan. Let me show you this. By Josh Kaplan. Very interesting post by Josh Kaplan. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of the Stockholm terror attack where 5 people were killed and 14 others were injured. German police are treating today's car ramming incident in Munster as a terror attack. So there was a terror attack in Stockholm 1 year ago today. Wonder if that is significant in terms of why this happened today. Hey, I want to look that up. Stockholm terror attack. In 2000, yes, 1 year ago today, 1 year ago today in central Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, a hijacked truck was deliberately driven into crowds. So that happened 1 year ago today. 5 people were killed and 14 seriously injured in Stockholm, Sweden. Now we have 1 year later this. Now, we don't know if this is related, but on the 1 year anniversary of this, we have a car attack, a truck attack in Germany, Munster, Germany. Terror Events says, police are asking in a tweet to the public not to spread rumors on Twitter and or Facebook. That's from Terror Events. So what we do know is that several people are dead, at least 30 injured, we're hearing reports, in this intentional, apparent van attack, and the driver shot and killed himself after the van ran into people in Munster, Germany. We don't know anything about the driver yet, nothing at all. Except he's a man, and he's dead. If you're hearing new stuff about this, give me a shout on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner. One of our viewers heard some report that there might be an explosive inside the van, but they're not, it's a rumor, so who knows. Our viewer Ted Dixon says, now Fox was covering it early, but he hasn't seen anything about it on mainstream media. I'm going to do a quick check here to see if they're showing it yet. Yeah, MSNBC is now covering this now. Okay, so they've started covering it. Now they just went to commercial. Let's see what we can find you here. It's funny though, mainstream media, when there's a Stormy Daniels thing, I follow all the different media people on Twitter. They all post about it when there's a Stormy Daniels thing. But when there's this huge apparent terror attack in Germany, all these media people I follow in the U.S. from all these different outlets, total silence. No one's posting on it. Don't care. If it's not Trump, they don't care. If it's not negative Trump information, they don't care. It's not news. I'm just searching around trying to find you new information here. So let me keep doing this. And if you have anything, give me a shout. Ooh, let's see. Is this new? No, that's not really new. I haven't even seen that many photos. A lot of times when this stuff happens in a public area like this, at this point we'll have more photos and maybe some video that people have taken. But I haven't seen a single video of the scene. I saw some police walking in a video outside the scene, but I have not found a lot of stuff about this. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's a cultural thing, or did people just all run away and then the police very quickly sealed off the area? But very little on this in terms of video and photos compared to the normal. I mean, East Spain News has this video I've seen before of just police standing around. Maybe they just cordoned off the area really fast. And so people weren't able to get into the area to shoot their own video or whatever. So what we know so far is the following: that this happened in Munster, Germany. A van ran into a crowd of people outside the Klippenkörl restaurant in Munster, Germany, in the old town section, which is, I've also read the medieval section of town. And there are several dead and at least 30 injured. And the driver killed himself, shot himself after the crash. That's what we know right now. The authorities are treating it as a possible terror attack. It looks like it was, from what we're hearing, it seems like it very well may have been intentional. And there's a shot of it right there. So that's what we know at this point. Trying to get just more updates here. You can write to me at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. And also, Josh Kaplan made the interesting point. This is the 1-year anniversary of the Stockholm terror attack when a rented truck drove into a bunch of people and killed 5 people. I don't know if that's related to this. Give me a shout if you hear more, at Lookner. I am at Lookner on Twitter. Want to hear from you. Okay, MSNBC was covering it. They stopped. CNN is in a commercial. Oh, let's see. Somebody sent me an article. They said there's some more photos. Let me see if there's stuff we haven't seen yet. Yeah, CNN's now covering it. They weren't before. Let's see here. Yeah, the photo. Let's see. Is this new stuff? This is from Express UK. Oops, hang on. Shut up. No autoplay video. Okay. So this is from Express UK. We've seen that photo. They said slideshow. Why doesn't the slideshow work? Your slideshow doesn't work. Yuck. Infuriating. Well, I can't see the photos on their site because their slideshow doesn't work. Sorry about that. Let's try Daily Mail, see if they've updated their story. They're usually good about getting you new photos. Nope, nothing new on their site either. Oh, that's new. I haven't seen this. That photo of police people walking around. Police cars in downtown Munster they have. Look at all these ambulances, by the way, and fire vehicles. They say it is understood a vehicle plowed into a crowded pub near the Klippenkörl statue in the old town. That's where this happened. And they have there's 2 pictures we've seen. We've seen this picture where you can see the van in the bottom left there, bottom left, and a person on the ground in the bottom right. There's that picture we've seen. That's one. And then the other one we've seen is this one, where the van is in the bottom right. Those are the only 2 really we've seen. Hey, it's another black screen. If you're watching on YouTube, please ignore the black screen. If you're watching on YouTube, sorry about the black screen. You can't see the broadcast, but we are still here. We are still broadcasting. So I apologize for this. I'm just letting people on YouTube know. Ignore black screen. We're back. If you're watching on YouTube and you see a black screen, that is stupid YouTube who've been doing this to us for a year in our broadcast. They won't fix it. But don't leave the broadcast. We're still broadcasting. It's dumb YouTube. You can also tweet to YouTube. If you tweet to @YouTube and @Team YouTube, you can complain to them about the black screens. @Team YouTube and @YouTube, and just say, why can't you fix these black screens? I'm trying to watch this video. So we apologize about that, but they refuse to fix it because they're dumb and stupid. Been going on for a year, by the way. Oh, by the way, we're the only channel that ever happens to, just so you know. Another one of our viewers, Ann King, says police say there might be a bomb in the van. So a couple of viewers have written me and said they heard reports that there may be a bomb in the van. I can't confirm that for you. But who knows? It's possible. So I'll let you know if I hear more. Write to me if you hear more. @Lookner on Twitter. @LOOKNER. @Lookner on Twitter. Thank you, Virgo Jesse, for the nice words. So again, to sum up what we know so far. This van drove into this crowd in Munster, Germany, in northwest Germany, near at a pub/restaurant, we're hearing, and several dead, at least 30 injured. Driver shot and killed himself right after the crash. Rumors of maybe an explosive on board. We don't know this. Ryan Lovesey made a donation. Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate that. We don't ask for donations during these kind of broadcasts, but we appreciate them because they keep us on the air. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you again to our moderators who are moderating the chat room. So if you hear anything, write to me on Twitter, @Lookner on Twitter, @Lookner on Twitter. And again, we apologize for the dumb YouTube black screens that happen every so often. If you see a black screen you're watching on YouTube, ignore it. It'll go away after a few seconds. Okay, so this is what we're just trying to get more information on this. It's kind of odd, as I've been saying, that we have so few photos of this, and normally with one of these incidents by now I'd have a ton of different photos and a bunch of people would have posted Twitter video and Instagram video and stuff, but I've seen none of that so far. I don't know if they just cleared out the area very fast after, but not a lot of new information, but I'm guessing there will be. Ann King said, our viewer said she heard a rumor that German police are searching for a couple more attackers. Now, Ann, where are you getting this information? That's what I want to know. I mean, is that just some random person on Twitter posting it, or are you getting a news source? If you have a source for this, please let me know. Because whenever these things happen, there are always these rumors that float around. Yeah, Sputnik is reporting the 2 more attackers. I don't trust Sputnik. Sputnik is run by the Russian government, so I find them not very trustworthy. So I would need another source to really be convinced that's actually true, that story. Thank you, Teresa Bear, by the way. I need another source besides Sputnik. When Sputnik or RT reports something, I try to get another source. Or any government-controlled media. Let's see. 3 killed, 20 injured now. That's what we're hearing. German government spokesman says 3 killed and 20 injured. Okay, well, it's good that it's not 30 injured, because before we heard reports of 30 injured. That's 20 is still terrible, and 3 killed is terrible. I don't know if the 3 killed includes the driver who shot and killed himself after this happened. I don't know. But 3 killed, 20 injured. Also, we have a comment from German Chancellor Angela Merkel. German Chancellor Angela Merkel's spokeswoman says, "Our thoughts are with the victims and the families after a vehicle crashed into a crowd in Munster." We don't know anything about the driver, except that the driver was a male. That's it. That's all we know. Now, AFP is saying at least 4 dead, at least 4 dead. I don't know if this includes the driver. Maybe it's 3 dead plus the driver. But AFP is now saying at least 4 dead in this German apparent van attack in Germany. 1 year to the day after the truck attack in Stockholm killed 5 people. If you're hearing more updates, give me a shout on Twitter, at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner on Twitter. Let's see if we can find some more information here. Looking at the New York Times website, seeing if I get more from them, I don't seem to see it on the New York Times website, at least initially. Do they have a story on it? Literally nothing on the New York Times front page on this. Hey, I'm going to tweet that out. Still literally nothing on New York Times web page about German van attack. Literally nothing is redundant. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. You know, it's if you've watched me, you know, I just find it's in America. You might be watching another country in America. Media really obsesses on Trump. It's Trump, 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 Trump all the time. Then there's this huge international story. The New York Times can't even be bothered with all the money they have and all the people working there. Can't even be bothered to have it on their website. Nothing there. Nothing on the whole New York Times page. I just looked. Nope, not there. Nothing. We're not going to report it. We're too busy covering Trump all day and all weekend. That's great. Boy, they've really, in the last few years, I tell you, I mean, that was the newspaper of record for decades, and they've really maintained that. Gog and Magog writes from Italy and says, thanks for the coverage. Thank you, Gog and Magog. We're just trying to bring you the latest updates here. So I'll sum up what we know. I'm sorry I can't get you more information at this moment. But what we know is that, according to AFP, 4 people are dead. We don't know if that includes the driver in this van attack in Munster, Germany. It ran into a restaurant or pub where people were hanging out. Or I don't know. Well, I know people were hanging out, but I don't know if the people hit were all restaurant goers or pedestrians or some combination of them. But 4 people are dead total and 20 injured. The driver shot and killed himself after the incident. We know nothing about the driver except he was male. And there's another. Oh, this is a year to the date. I have no idea if this is relevant at all, but it's a year to the day after a truck attack in Stockholm, Sweden. Thank you, Little Lord Fauntleroy, by the way. So we're just trying to get you more information here. Now, actually, CNN is reporting 30 injured. CNN is saying 30 injured. So I'm going to update on my Twitter that. CNN reports 30 injured. They're calling it a delivery van attack. In German van attack. Hey, let me just update something here real quick while I have a second. Hang on one second here. Just doing one thing real quick. See if this works. Done. So we're trying to get more information on this. CNN is saying 30 injured now. We've heard 20 injured. We've heard 30 injured. Trump fanboy 69 sent me, he said news said name of driver is apparently blank, but I don't know what news are you saying, Trump fanboy. I'm not going to report a name unless I know the source. A lot of times names and photos of supposed suspects end up being false. So I need to, if you send me a name, let me know where you saw it, or send me a link. That's best, because I don't really want to be pointing reporting false names or false pictures of supposed suspects. So we know nothing yet about the suspect. Nothing. People are asking me what was the suspect wearing or something. We don't know what the suspect was wearing, how old the suspect was, if the suspect's a German citizen. The suspect has shot himself. And killed himself. Now, Steve Herman is saying that German authorities have confirmed 30 people injured. 30 people injured in several fatalities. 30 people injured. That's a lot of injuries. If you hear more on this, let me know. At Lookner on Twitter. At Lookner on Twitter. And authorities are treating the incident, according to CNN, as a deliberate attack. So we'll call it a van attack from now on. But if you hear more, write to me on Twitter. At Lookner on Twitter. At Lookner. Again, 4 dead, 30 injured. Very odd. I've been saying this over and over, but so few. We came on the air about 45 minutes ago or so, and there've really been no new photos of the scene or video of the scene since then. A couple little things, but a lot less than normally that you would have by this time. And very little new information. But we'll keep doing our best to get you the latest information. I mean, here's this photo, which we've seen again and again and again and again. Gosh, if this one person didn't take this photo from their window, we'd hardly have any photos of the scene. Think about that. Hey, it's another black screen. So guys, sorry about the black screen on YouTube. I'm waiting for it. Well, as soon as it comes off, I'll tell people that we're still on the air. As I look for more information. So, if you're on YouTube and you see that dumb black screen that YouTube puts on our broadcast, just ignore it. It'll be gone after a few seconds. We're really sorry about that. So I'm just going through. There's some photos here. I think we've seen them all from the Daily Mail, but what? All right, this is annoying. Sorry, it makes it look like you can do a slideshow and then you can't. It's really stupid. Oh, here we go. All right, let's see what photos the Daily Mail has. Ready? Here's one. There's police, fire people. There's 2. A lot of photos of police barricades. Munster, Germany is where this happened. I don't know what that's. There's a photo right there. That's an overhead shot of the scene. The van is out of frame in the lower left in that scene, but you can see the the chairs turned over. That's the place where this happened. Oh, sorry, it's a little out of frame. There you go. There's a shot of the scene right there. So, but we had that photo ages ago. Oops, sorry. Hang on one second here. Let me do one quick thing. Okay, that's done. I'm thinking maybe they just blocked off the scene really quick, and that's why we're not seeing any more photos. Because such a lack of photos and video on this and more information. So will they release some new information about the drivers soon? We got nothing. Wolf writes me. He thinks there are no information in photos because the police block it. They won't want that someone could find out who was the attacker. That normally takes many hours or days until this kind of information is released. Don't know. So AFP is saying death toll 4 in this incident. All right, so let's just summarize what we know for people just joining the broadcast. Okay, let's do that. So in Munster, Germany, sometime in the last couple hours in Munster, Germany, that van in the lower right drove into a crowd of people near a restaurant pub and killed 4 people and injured 30 people. And the driver, who we still know nothing about, killed himself by shooting himself. So we have literally no information about the driver. Was the driver a German citizen or not? Where did the driver live? What was the driver wearing? Did the driver say anything? What was the driver's name? Is there anything else they found in the van? We have no information about any of this at all. Nothing. I would have to think. I don't know. I would like. I mean, and also now the driver is dead, so I would think that the authorities have some information on the driver. All right, so it's 4 dead, including the driver of the van, according to BBC Breaking News. 4 dead, including the driver of the van. 4 dead, and 30 injured. Write to me if you have more information that we don't know yet at Lookner, at Lookner. If you send me something like a rumor, please let me know where you heard it, though, because I'm not just going to say, oh, there's this rumor and not have any kind of source for it. Several people keep sending me links of things in German. So Ride Free said, "Hey, look at this," and it's just an article in German, which doesn't really help me at all because I can't read German. So just know I cannot read German. Sarah, our viewer, says she read a site called RTBF, a French site, saying 30 are injured, around 6 of whom with life-threatening injuries, but I don't really know that site, so I can't speak to the accuracy of it. Sherry M., thank you for sending me that, but I cannot show another YouTube video on this YouTube broadcast. I don't know if it's a Germany thing, but this certainly, I will say, we've unfortunately had a bunch of these incidents that we've covered on the air, these terror attacks with cars. This is by far the least information we've had on one of these attacks at this point in the broadcast. Because when we came on, we had a couple photos of the scene, and we knew that there were several dead and a bunch injured. And right now, we still have the same photos of the scene, no more information on the driver. We heard about 5 minutes into our stream that the driver had killed himself. I apologize that we have no more news for you at this point, but we're doing our best to try to get you more information. Just nothing coming out of there. Oh, here's something. Let's see here. What is this? Maybe. I don't know if we can show this, so I'm iffy on whether not because it's a. Let's see, what is this? How long is this? I think I can show you this. It's posted on a newspaper website, and it's not long. So I'll play you a few seconds of this. It says eyewitness describes chaotic scene at Munster airport. This is from the Express paper. Oh, look, another black screen on YouTube. Amazing. So we apologize. I'm waiting to play this until our YouTube has stopped putting a black screen on our video, which they've done now like 7 or 8 times during this broadcast. So I apologize, guys. If you see a black screen on YouTube, guys, we apologize. Just know that we're still here. Stupid YouTube does that. They've been doing it to us for a year where they put black screens on our videos and they never fix it. And you'll never see it on another channel. We're the only channel they do it to you. I guess they don't like us showing news and actually reporting news in a factual, unbiased way. No, they don't like it. So anyways, you can always tweet and complain to @YouTube and @Team YouTube about that and just tell them you're sick of this. So I was going to play you this from the Express website, where they have the Express UK, where they have a clip of Express. There you see it. It says, eyewitness describes chaotic scene at the Munster incident. Hang on a second here.
What are you hearing on the media, social media, or from other people in the city about what might have happened? There are reports that several people have been injured and some have died. Presumably there are ambulances on the scene as well.
Yeah, so at least 3 people died and over 50 people injured. So the police confirmed that some minutes ago. And so we still don't know what happened, but I think it was terror because the van drove in pedestrians. And it's not allowed to drive in this area because it's a pedestrian area.
Okay, so the area where this has happened, you would normally not have any vehicles at all. So that's what makes you think that this must be more deliberate.
Yeah, I think.
And where you are now, you're around the corner from where this has happened. Can you hear or see any police activity at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm now at the balcony. The police helicopter is over me.
All right, so the big information there.
There are some media outlets.
Hold on. The big information there from that eyewitness was that this van attack happened in a place where cars are not allowed to go. That's what he said. He said this van attack happened in this place where they don't allow vehicles. It's a pedestrian-only area, and that's why he thinks it's a terror attack. I'm actually going to tweet that out. That's kind of important news. I don't know why we hadn't heard that before. That's important news. So BBC eyewitness, I'll let you see it as I'm doing it, on BBC. Van attack happened in area where cars are not permitted. Pedestrian, only area. Wow, I didn't know that. So I guess maybe the car drove through some barrier, the van drove through some barrier or something, but that's the first we heard of that news, that this van attack happened in an area where, according to this eyewitness, vehicles are not normally allowed. Four dead, 30 injured. That's what we're hearing so far. 4 dead, including the driver. Driver of the vehicle shot himself after. We know that. We know nothing about the driver, though. If you're hearing anything new on this, we're getting information very slow to come out about this. At Lookner on Twitter is where to reach me. At Lookner on Twitter. Oh, let's see. Does this have something about the injuries? Okay. Thank you, Nurgal. Nurgal sent me a link to the Business Insider article, and in that article it says, Bild reported that 6 of the injured are in life-threatening condition. 6 of the injured are in life-threatening condition of the 30 injured. That's coming from Bild via Business Insider. It's being treated as a terror attack by the authorities. I wonder if Bild has any photos up. Bild's telling me in German I need to shut off my ad blocker. All right, Bild, for you, I'll do it. I mean, Bild just has this picture, which is the same one we've seen a lot of times. Gosh, good job to the person inside some building which took this picture, which if they didn't take this picture, we'd have hardly any photos of the incident at all in 2018 for some reason. Is it really possible that, like, other people, all these people there, no one took photos of this and no one's posting it to Twitter? Is there some cultural thing in Germany where you're not supposed to, like, post photos to Twitter or something? I'm just stunned we don't have, with this crowded attack in a crowded tourist area, we don't have more photos of the incident. All right, let's update what we know. It's the same information so far. 4 dead, including the driver, which shot himself. 30 injured in Munster, Germany, in this van attack. Lars Anderson, thank you. This attack happens 1 year to the day that there was a 1 year ago today there was a truck attack in Stockholm, Sweden. We don't know if they were related. What else? The driver shot and killed himself after the attack. There's something else I'm not mentioning, which we know. Oh, this happened reportedly, an eyewitness said this happened in an area of Munster, Germany that's a pedestrian-only area where vehicles are normally not allowed. And authorities are treating it as a terror attack. Sherry M. says on CNN she heard a Washington Post reporter say police are looking for a possible device in the vehicle. Let me see if I can find you more information on that. Yeah, they're checking. So I don't know if they have any real, the Washington Post article says police also dispatched a bomb squad to the scene to check whether there were explosives in the van. Now, that doesn't mean they have any special information that there are explosives in the van. That might just be a standard thing they do in this kind of incident. So, I wouldn't read too much into the fact that they have a bomb squad on the scene. They might have no information suggesting there's explosives in the van. They might just do that as precaution. So I don't know. The incident took place at the square surrounding the Kiepenkerl statue, a city landmark that celebrates a traveling peddler. And they also talk about how in December 2016, there was another vehicle attack in Germany. In December 2016, a Tunisian man whose asylum request had been rejected crashed a truck through a crowded German Christmas market in Berlin, killing 12 and injuring 56. And as we were saying, the incident in Munster also comes a year to the day after a man driving a stolen delivery truck slammed into a crowd in Stockholm, killing 4. Now, CNN is saying the attack was saying the vehicle was a delivery van. I haven't seen that other places that it was a delivery van. You know, you wonder if a year ago they attacked with if a year ago today there was a delivery van attack in Stockholm, Sweden with a stolen delivery van, it'd be quite notable if this was another stolen delivery van, because it would seem like it would be like a copycat attack. But give me a shout if you hear more updates at Lookner on Twitter, as we try to get you more information on this. So again, we know right now nothing about the suspect. Oh, you know what I should do? Hang on one second. Let me do this. Here's good. That's better. So I can see what people are saying. I'm just peeking at the TV here to see if they're reporting anything new. Oh, black screen on YouTube. Wonderful. So I have to say ignore the black screen. Unbelievable. We've probably had about 9 black screens on this broadcast from YouTube. They love doing this to us. It's really amazing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Hey guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you see a black screen, just ignore it. It's only going to be there for a few seconds. And what you can do if you want to complain to YouTube, you can pause on the black screen or go back to it, right-click on the video, go to Troubleshoot Playback Issue, click on that, and then there's a feedback form. You can fill it out, and you can say, like, 10th black screen on this broadcast. Why can't you fix this? Click send at the bottom. So I would encourage you to do that. I would encourage you, although they'll probably just throw away your comment and not look at it because they don't care and they hate us. All right, so there's the scene. So little new information on this. Just trying to get you more. All we know right now, I was saying before, we know nothing about the driver yet. Nothing. We don't know name, where they're from. Are they a citizen of Germany? Are they a citizen of somewhere else? What do they do? What's their occupation? What were they wearing? Did they say anything at the scene? We also don't know much about. I haven't heard much about this car. CNN is saying it's a delivery van. I've heard that nowhere else. Did the car belong to the driver? Was the car stolen? Where was the car? Was the car rented? If so, where? Where did the car originate from? We don't know any of that stuff. Where is the car registered? Okay, this is new. Hey, this is the first piece of new information I've seen in a long time from Josh Kaplan. Thank you, Josh Kaplan, which I will show you now. Hey, we have new information. I'm so happy. German police say suspicious object found in van that rammed into crowd in Munster. Now, that's not that much news because, you know, a suspicious object, we don't know what that is. It could be a box, could be an unopened box that they don't want to open yet. So, you know, I wouldn't read too much into that yet, but according to DPA, German police say suspicious object found in a van that rammed into crowd in Munster. Suspicious object. Hey, at least it's new information at this point, which is nice. We'd love to know something more about the driver. And I can't report. Ann sent me a rumor, and she says, "Sorry, no source." I can't report a rumor with no source, Ann. Chuck Boyce Jr. says, "I am more than half seriously thinking about coding a bot that tweets out every time YouTube blocks your broadcast with a black screen." We'd love that, Chuck. That'd be great. And then CC at YouTube and at Team YouTube on it, so they can ignore it every time you do it. This is interesting. So I don't know if this is true. I've been wondering, I've been saying, wow, it's stunning to me that we have gotten basically no new photographs of this incident or videos the whole time we've been on the air, which is to me unprecedented. Normally at this point we have tons of photographs, people that are taken with their cell phones and videos. And I've been saying, I wonder why that is. Is that a cultural thing? Is that something to do with the fact that it's in Germany? One of our viewers, now I can't confirm this information, but sent me a message. Love Canada claims Germans can go to jail for posting on attacks of this type. What we are witnessing is proof that Germans will not post. Only a few small, brave people will take the chance. Now, I can't confirm that, but there is some reason that and I don't know what it is. It could be a number of different things, but there's some reason that we have gotten there's like one photo of the scene. There's two photos of the scene I've seen. There's an overhead shot. There's this shot, that's one, that's shot one. And then there's shot two, which is this one taken by a person in a building. That's it. Literally the only two photos of the scene when a van runs into a crowded area where tons of people are hanging out. It's just, if this happened in America or another, like say France or other countries I can think of, we've seen this happen before and we have tons of footage. So definitely if it happened in America, I can guarantee you we'd have tons of photos and footage. So I was just wondering as someone who covers these things, what is the reason we're not seeing anything else? And I don't know. They could have cleared out the area really fast. I just have to imagine there are other photos of it. So just wondering because it was just noteworthy to me. Let's see here. Oh, Master Maddie sent me something about this. Master Maddie sent me this. Well, Master Maddie said in Germany, dash cams for personal use are allowed. Posting footage from them on social media sites is considered a violation of privacy and thus forbidden. But that's just about dash cam footage. So I was talking about like people taking photos with their cell phones. Maybe part of the culture there is that you don't take photos with your cell phones of something like this and post them on the internet. Or maybe there's a legal thing against it. I don't know. Wolf says, in this tweet, the police asked to stay out of the inner city and don't post videos and pictures. I'll say this, though. In America, if this happened, even if the police said don't post videos and pictures, you'd see plenty of videos and pictures. All right, so what do we know on this? We know really not much more surprisingly than we knew an hour ago, which is this van ran into people, a crowd of people, at a restaurant pub in a pedestrian-only area in Munster, Germany, killing 3 people, injuring 30 others, and the driver shot himself and killed himself afterwards. This is a year to the day after a truck attack in Stockholm, Sweden, killed 5 people. We have heard no new information on the driver or a lot of other things in the last hour. So I am waiting to hear more information on this to get it to you. It would be nice to know something more about this driver. But I have nothing yet for you on that. So I'm just watching and waiting here. Warning, if you are watching on YouTube, you may see a black screen because YouTube loves putting black screens on our broadcast. If you're watching on YouTube and you see a black screen, ignore it. It'll be there for a few seconds. And if you see something new, some new information, write to me on Twitter, @Lookner on Twitter. Let's see. I think a viewer sent me an article on maybe why we're not seeing more photos from Germany. Let me see if this is something here. Okay, so this was sent to me by our viewer, Anna. And it's an article from Goethe Institute, and it says, photographers these days have to be very careful. And it says, street photography in Germany can really be quite tricky. If passers-by are in the picture, the photographer can quickly find himself in court. Let's see. In Berlin, a photographer shot a person walking along the street in a leopard skin coat. The person depicted saw this as a violation of the copyright regarding her own image and filed a claim against its publication. The court ruled that he was not allowed to display the photo. In addition, he had to pay the legal costs. So it looks like that there might be legal consequences in Germany if you take a photo of something you see on the street with people in it and you publish it. Anyways, interesting. I won't read this whole article, but if you want to read more about it, you can find it. Search Goethe Institute. Photographers these days have to be very careful. So maybe that's why we're not seeing more photos, is that there's like laws which put people in jeopardy in Germany if they take photos on the street of something they see on the street and then they publish it or they post it on social media. Interesting article. Thank you, Anna. Sarah. I'm sorry, Sarah. Someone sent me another photo, a photo and another name of the purported driver, but without a source, without a reliable source. They just sent me a tweet from some person saying this is the driver's photo and their name. I'm not going to show that on the air. I have to have a very reliable source to show a name and a driver. To show a name and a photo, and or a photo. I would assume we might hear something soon. Okay, so CNN and MSNBC are no longer covering this. They've stopped. And Fox is still covering it, so I can have them on in the background. So we are hearing 3 dead, 30 injured, and the driver is dead. 3 dead, 30 injured, and the driver is dead in this incident in Munster, Germany. And the driver killed himself. But we're trying to get more information on who this driver is. This happened in an area in Munster, Germany, where, according to an eyewitness, vehicles are not normally allowed to go. It was a pedestrian-only area. And Fox has stopped. So now none of the mainstream media channels are covering this. Lars Anderson says, no freedom of speech in Germany. He says it's to cover up what's happening. I have no idea. I'm not in Germany, but we're not. What I can tell you, thank you, Lars, is that we've seen no new photos on this in the whole time we've been on the air, posted by anyone. But we just read an article suggesting that people in Germany can face legal consequences if they post photos they take on the street. All right, so we're just trying to get you more information on this. It's like maybe there'll be some press conference on this or something, but there's so much we don't know. We know the authorities are treating it as a terror attack. We know 3 dead, 30 injured, and the driver shot himself, but we know nothing about the driver. So we're hoping that there's some information that gets released soon about this. Let's see. What was I going to look up? Oh, I know what I was going to do. Give me 1 second here. So the Daily Mirror is saying 6 people are in critical condition. We've heard 6 of the people injured are in life-threatening condition. So they're also saying 6 people are in critical condition. Oh, this is new. Following the crash, the driver shot and killed himself inside the vehicle. So the driver didn't even get out of the vehicle. The driver killed himself inside the vehicle. Police say they are not looking for any other suspects. That's interesting. That's interesting information. I'm going to tweet that out. Daily Mail, sorry. Whoa, why is that? Oh. So again, those two new pieces of information. The driver shot and killed himself inside the vehicle, And police say they are not looking for any other suspects. That's from the Daily Mail. Now, this is important to point out also. German media have said the police are assuming it's a terror attack, but the motive remains unclear. So we don't have confirmation this is a terror attack right now. We could eventually hear it's not a terror attack, but it looks like it is, certainly. I guess if it's not a terror attack, the only explanation would be like the person is somebody who has like mental illness issues and like they just went crazy and ran over people and then killed themselves. What else do they say here? They say 3 dead, 30 injured. Crash comes on the anniversary of the Stockholm truck attack where it killed 5 people. Police are sweeping the vehicle for explosives with a suspicious object, whatever that could be, anything, understood to have been found inside. It's the area where it happened. Spokeswoman for Angela Merkel says our thoughts are with the victims and their families. Has she made a statement yet? I don't know if she has herself. Angela Merkel. There's Munster. The video below that is just a street video. It's not a video of the incident or anything. Munster is a city of around 300,000, by the way. Around a fifth of the population are students. Again, city of around 300,000, a fifth of the population are students. And there are 4 universities within the city. It is also known as the bicycle capital of Germany. Will we get any information soon about the driver? That's my question. Durgal, our viewer, says he read an article in a German publication that says, according to police, the incident took place around 3:30 p.m. at that time in the city, but the first reports about it didn't come until an hour later. I would like to think if the driver killed himself in the vehicle, which is true, the driver did kill himself, we read a report saying it was in the vehicle. I would like to think at this point the authorities know something about the driver, since it's been a couple of hours now that they've had the driver's body. Hey, let me know if you hear anything new. @Lookner on Twitter is where to reach me. @Lookner on Twitter. Here's that shot of the scene again. Gosh. I don't think sadly we've covered a number of these vehicle attacks. I can't remember ever covering one of them where the information came out so slowly, where we had so little new information. We came on right as this, pretty soon after this news broke, we came on the air. And we've heard so little new information since we've been on the air about this. Captain Kuhn sent me a message complaining about the fact that one can't post photos or videos of such a terror incident in Germany. And we saw that report that a suspicious object was found in the van. Don't know what that is. That could be a lot of things. I mean, they could find a box, an unopened box, and say it's suspicious, or a backpack. So we really don't know what's going on with that. We just know 3 dead, and the driver killed himself, and 30 injured, and 6 injuries are life-threatening. Kind of just waiting to hear more about the driver and searching my different sources here to see if we can get you more information. I wonder if the Mirror has anything new in their story. Two pictures of the scene today. That's it. 1, 2. That's it. If these 2 pictures didn't get out, there would be no pictures of the scene. And we've had these from the start. An eyewitness said, I heard a loud thumping blow and suddenly the people cried out, "Oh my God." Everyone ran to the front. A minute later, there were patrol cars. Lena, a 21-year-old student, said, I was traveling with friends by bike when we suddenly came across screaming people. They were yelling, "Get away, get away." We were scared that a bomb would go off or one would be shot at. Now, that could be another reason why we don't have that many pictures. If people thought there was a bomb about to go off, they might have just ran away. Did they think there was a bomb going to go off? Did the guy say he was going to? Did the driver say anything about setting off a bomb? Maybe, I don't know. If you somehow get more information on this, write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Just searching different sources here. It's weird also, CNN said delivery van. That's the only source I saw that said this was a delivery van. You look at it, I mean, in that photo, it doesn't necessarily look like a delivery van, so I don't know where they're getting that information from. And it's also, I don't know, like, when I assume at some point the German authorities will say something about the driver. When will this be? Is it in the next few minutes? Is it in a couple hours? Is it tonight? Is it tomorrow? I don't know. How long does it take them? I don't know. I'd like to think they would say something soon. Fox is saying this is a popular area with locals and tourists, this area where this happened. Let me check out this page. See if there's anything new here. This is the page from the Express. Claudia S. wrote and said, look at the Express page, see if there's anything new there. So that picture we've seen. Okay. Yeah, it's not much new there. Some police. There's that same picture again. It's like the same 10 pictures. It's amazing. Like, there literally has been no new photos of this in the last 45 minutes, or half an hour to 45 minutes. Just no new photos. Would also like to know if there's any connection to the truck attack in Sweden on a year ago today, which killed a number of people. And in December of 2016, there was an attack in Berlin with a vehicle which killed a number of people. I think 12 people. Is this connected to that in any way? We don't know. We don't know. Marcel Butterfly, one of our viewers, wrote in and said, here's what police are saying, which we've heard before, but I'll reiterate it. Oh, by the way, so Lee Johnson Media gave me a heads up that AP says, AP just posted German police were checking reports that other perpetrators may have fled from crash van in Munster. So we heard a report earlier that there were no other suspects, but the German police apparently now say they're checking reports that other perpetrators may have fled from crash van in Munster. We'll have to see. Now, I've seen Munster spelled two different ways. This says M-U-E-N-S-T-E-R. This says M-U-N-S-T-E-R. This says M-U-N-S-T-E-R. So I'm going to go with M-U-N-S-T-E-R. So anyways, Associated Press is saying, German police is saying we're checking reports that other perpetrators may have fled from the crash van. We'll let you know if we hear more about that. I also wanted to show you this. Our viewer Marcel Butterfly said, hey, Steve, the local police are just saying, please avoid the area of the city center. We are on site for you and will inform you as soon as we have more information, more secure information. Please do not participate in speculation and do not disseminate videos and pictures via Twitter and Facebook. Do not disseminate videos and pictures via Twitter and Facebook. That's what the police are saying. People certainly seem to be complying with that. Dan Canepa, thank you. Dan Canepa says German police, he heard German police were evacuating the area so they can send a bomb robot in to check the truck. Color Me Red, our viewer, says, according to some publication, I guess, if that's a publication, the vehicle that finished its race on a coffee terrace in Munster was a modern version of the Volkswagen Bulli Combi. Hey, let's look up Volkswagen Bulli Combi. They say it's a modern version of a Volkswagen Bulli Combi. This is an old version. In the picture, there's the picture on the bottom right. I can't confirm that's a Volkswagen. Let me know if you hear anything new. Give me a shout on Twitter, @Lookner. Hey, one of our viewers wrote in and said Sotiri Dimpenudis says police will hold a press conference in an hour. So I don't know if we'll still be on in the air in the hour. We'll see. And also I don't know. Sometimes they say they'll hold it in an hour and it ends up being longer than that. But thank you, Sotiri. Again, one of our viewers, Sotiri, wrote to me and said Munster police will hold a press conference in an hour. So summing up what we know, yet again, which is not too much, this van on the lower right plowed into a popular area of Munster, Germany, where people were hanging out, a pedestrian-only area, and it killed 3 people, it injured 30 people, and the driver shot and killed himself. That's what we know right now. The driver reportedly shot and killed himself inside the vehicle. Oh, Wolf says if you don't have a U with the 2 dots over it, you can put a UE instead for Munster. Well, I'll leave it the way it is now. Thank you, Wolf, though. Again, this comes on the year anniversary of a vehicle attack in Sweden where a stolen delivery vehicle in Stockholm killed 5 people. And also in December of 2016, there was a vehicle attack in Berlin that killed 12 people. We don't know if this is related. Let's see here. J.R. Bennett says, use Google Translate to translate German media. Well, maybe I'll do that in the future. Oh, let's see. Ann sent me like a Google Street View shot of this. Hey, Michael Ross. Thank you, Michael Ross. Appreciate it. So Ann sent me this photo where you can see where it happened. Hang on a second. Supposedly. Oops. So let me just, hang on a second. So that's an outdoor shot of where it supposedly happened. But I also want to show you this. One of our viewers sent this to me. It's a Google Street View shot. Okay. Again, we know nothing about this driver at all. Nothing. Nothing. You know, it's a guy and he's dead. He shot himself. That's it. That's all we know about the driver. A man, and he shot himself and killed himself. We don't know if the van was stolen, if it belonged to the driver or not. None of it. Oh, Anonymous said he saw this tweet. I can't confirm this tweet, but Anonymous saw this tweet and I guess translated it from German about a contact number that witnesses of the incident could report. Maybe that's a local police station or something like that. Daily Mail still says 6 people in critical condition. Now this says 26 injured now. I had heard 30 before. They say 26. It says terrified diners watched as the driver shot and killed himself inside the vehicle. Now this says police say they are not looking for any other suspects and expect the danger is over. So we're hearing conflicting reports on that. Thank you, Leon, for sending me that rumor, but I don't know where that's coming from, so I don't want to post just some rumor that somebody posted. You know, I'd like to have a reliable source. And also, Conservateer sent me a video supposedly from Munster, but I'm not, you know, that's, I can't tell whether that's from today or not. It's from somebody posting it on WhatsApp, so I don't want to show that either because that might not be from today and might have nothing to do with this. So I want to be careful about what we're posting here and talking about. Wolf says that post I showed before with the phone number is the post. It is the post for people to report the witnesses to report what they saw to the police. So you can see there's a police post there which says Kippenkirl is where is the restaurant where this happened at. Maybe it's the area too. And it gives a phone number for police to call, for witnesses to call. This is interesting. Hang on. This is quite interesting. Look what News Alert Headquarters says. They say Germany's largest newspaper says Munster incident was likely not a terrorist attack. Driver believed to be German citizen with mental health issues. Now, I do think this, as we've been saying, this certainly looks like it's an intentional attack. But we had talked earlier and said, well, we don't know why this happened, and we'd raised the possibility that maybe the person had mental health issues. So, you know, this is just one report, and this certainly doesn't tell us much. But again, according to News Alert HQ, they're saying Süddeutsche Zeitung, Germany's largest newspaper, says driver believed to be German citizen with mental health issues. But who knows? So, but thank you for alerting me to that. That was Lee Johnson Media who alerted me to that. News executive. They're pretty reliable. They're saying truck is ramming is likely not a terrorist attack. Driver believed to be German citizen with previous mental health issues. So again, now we're hearing this may not be a terror attack, albeit it very well may be intentional. Driver believed to be German citizen with previous mental health issues. Wow. So this is the second report we've heard like this. So interesting. Now, I can't, this is unconfirmed as well, but gosh, that's either way, it's really terrible. But man, the idea that somebody with mental health issues, then it raises the question of like, well, they killed themselves after, so given that they killed themselves right after, I still think the working assumption has to be this was intentional, whether or not it was terrorism or not. But we don't know. I would like to. This is unconfirmed now. This is unconfirmed, and we haven't heard anything conclusive from the authorities. We still don't know the identity of the driver yet. So. Lee Johnson Media said somebody named Peter Sweden said there is explosives in the van. I haven't heard that anywhere else. I've heard they're checking the van for explosives and there's a suspicious item. So I'm not going to go with that yet. I need to see more about that. But thank you, Lee Johnson Media. Because he's like the only person who said that. Now, and actually, if it turned out there were explosives in the van, that would seem to go against this being a mental health incident and not a terrorism incident. Now, some viewers are writing in, and they think they're not buying this explanation, but we'll have to see. I mean, I think eventually we'll have an identity. Eventually, we'll certainly have an identity for the driver. So at that point, maybe, I'm guessing, eventually we'll have much more information about the driver. So at that point, we'll be able to say it'll be a lot more clear what went on with this. Just to let you know, so BBC Breaking News just had this post that I want to show you on Twitter. They're saying, a police spokesman said there are some eyewitness accounts of other culprits possibly having fled the vehicle. But, oftentimes when these incidents happen, people will say there are multiple shooters, and it turns out there's not multiple shooters, or there were multiple people, and it turns out there were not multiple people. So I've seen that happen before. So we've had no information from the authorities suggesting that they really think there were multiple people. They said they were checking in that car, but they're checking it out. So
the investigation is ongoing. The suspect shot himself in the vehicle. His identity is still unclear. There's some eyewitness accounts of other culprits possibly having fled the vehicle, but we're still investigating this and do not yet have an in-depth understanding of what happened.
There you go. Oh. So there. But again, the big news right now is that we're seeing some reports that suggest this is not, this is maybe not terror and maybe due to mental illness. If you're hearing more about this, you can follow me on, not follow me, you can write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Let me know what you're hearing. We appreciate you helping us cover the news here. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter. I post about breaking news all the time, even when I'm not on the air. So at Lookner on Twitter is where to follow me. And to know when we're coming on the air with these live streams, we do them all the time, you can follow and subscribe to us on social media. We are at Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube, Right Side Broadcasting on Facebook, on Periscope, RSBN TV, and on Twitter we're at RSB Network. And a big thank you to our moderators who've been moderating the chat today. I know Real Frank is there right now. So thank you, Real Frank, and all the other moderators. Our viewer Wolf says, this is interesting, our viewer Wolf, who reads German apparently, says about this report. Oh, Ash Blue also said Peter Sweden deleted his explosives tweet 1 minute later. So this person, Peter Sweden, had posted a tweet saying there were explosives in the van, but then I guess he deleted his tweet. Thank you, Ash Blue. Our viewer Wolf says, funny thing is the publication Süddeutsche Zeitung says, according to NDR, the driver is a German, but NDR says, according to Süddeutsche Zeitung, the driver is a German. So who is the one who's initially coming up with that story? It's a good question. Don't know. Maybe it'll turn out to be false. Often with breaking news, things turn out to be false. So we don't know if this is a terror attack or not. Looks intentional, though. Whether it's terror or somebody who's mentally ill or something. Well, this is interesting. Let me just look at this real quick before sharing it with you. Oh, this is interesting. Somebody sent me an interesting detail from the Washington Post article. Let me show you that. Somebody named Anonymous. Let me show you this detail. This is new. So according to the Washington Post, they say local news outlets said the police were already deployed in larger than normal numbers in the city center that afternoon to keep watch over a pro-Kurdish demonstration. When the van plowed across the square in mid-afternoon, the police officers were able to divert quickly. Now, this doesn't say this happened at the pro-Kurdish demonstration. It says it happened at a different location than the pro-Kurdish demonstration, but there were a lot of officers there for that demonstration. They were able to quickly go to this other scene. Interesting detail. The area where this happened, according to the Washington Post, the Kippenkerl area is dotted with boutiques, high-end shops, and cafes, and is a favorite of both tourists and locals. Saturday was the warmest day of the year, with weather hitting 76 degrees in the city of 300,000, drawing people onto the streets to lounge in the sunshine. Again, happened a year to the day after a man driving a stolen delivery truck slammed into a crowd in Stockholm, killing 4. But, you know, we're seeing some reports that suggest the person might have been mentally ill and this is not a terror attack. Oh, okay. I guess Peter Sweden's tweet is still up. So he says there are explosives in the van. Well, explosive experts on the scene. He is literally the only source I've seen that there are explosives in the van. Everybody else says they're just checking the van for explosives. So he might have had his information wrong because I've seen no one else report that. So we're just trying to figure out whether this was terrorism or not, trying to get some more info on the driver. News Alert HQ is reporting Munster City Center is now completely closed following an incident that resulted in multiple dead along with dozens of injuries. Bild. So they've closed the city center there, according to Bild. All right, so let's sum up what we know so far. We know that in Munster, in this pedestrian-only area today, at around in the afternoon local time, this van plowed into a crowd of people, killing 3, injuring between 26 and 30. We've heard 6 life-threatening injuries. Driver shot and killed himself after, and this was again pedestrian-only area, and we don't know really anything about the driver. We've heard some publications in Germany are suggesting this was a mentally ill person, and this wasn't terrorism, but mentally ill German citizen. This wasn't terrorism, but we don't know that right now, and I don't know if we're going to find any more information out soon. We don't know the name of the driver. We don't know for sure where they're from or why this happened. So I think, hang on a second here. 1 second here. Yeah, and one other thing, German police are checking witness reports that other perpetrators may have fled from a van, but we've heard nothing else about that. So often there are reports like that turn out to be false. Maybe it won't turn out to be false, but we haven't heard any kind of, it doesn't sound like the authorities are particularly worried about other cities, there's not like we haven't heard reports of a big manhunt or something like that going on. And then, we've also heard, I'll just show you tweets that we've seen about maybe the person being mentally ill. So News Executive says truck ramming incident in Munster, Germany is likely not a terror attack. Driver believed to be German citizen with previous mental health issues. But we don't know yet. We just don't know. Even if it's mental health, doesn't mean it wasn't intentional. I think it looks like it was intentional. The person runs over that many people and then kills themselves. But, just because it's intentional doesn't mean it's terrorism. Here's an example where it'd be mental illness but not terrorism. The person's mentally ill and they deluded and they think everybody on the street's trying to kill them, so they run over everybody on the street. That person's, having like a hallucination or deluded. They're not making some political statements. That would be a case where that's intentional but not terrorism. Wolf says you also need to look at what background this German has. If it's a German, I think you mean ethnic German or like originally from the country. Often the state media say it's a German because German passport, but the actual background of him or family is other than, I guess you mean maybe being born in Germany. So a reasonable point. Yeah, we don't know. Tom Hayes makes a good point. He says, I would think they have everything on various surveillance cameras in such an area. I'm probably guessing we won't see that surveillance footage, though, Tom. Ash Blue, is he saying that he thinks Peter Sweden just guessed? He didn't The guy, Peter Sweden, again, is the only person who posted something about explosives being found inside the vehicle. Everybody else just said the vehicle's being checked for explosives. This is new. Sort of. AFP says, update, driver who smashed van into German crowd was psychologically disturbed, according to reports. One of our viewers wrote to me and said, do you find it interesting that he had a gun? Blessed said, do you find it interesting that he had a gun even though Germany has some of the strictest gun laws in Europe? Now, this article from The Local does say Germany has some of the strictest gun laws in Europe, but, look, is it strange they had a gun? Well, I don't know. Is this somebody who'd been trained with guns? Is this somebody who stole their gun? It's interesting that they had a gun. I'd like to know where that person got it, but hard to say at this point. We haven't even had confirmed really any of these details about the driver, so we just don't know at this point. But it is worth looking at where they got their gun. It is an interesting point. All right, well, I think, guys, at this point, really what we're waiting on is information about the driver, and I don't know if and when we're going to get that in the next minutes or hours. So at this point, I'm going to wrap up this stream, but if there's more news, we'll come on the air again, or I'll at least definitely follow me on Twitter if you want, at Lookner on Twitter. I'll post updates on my Twitter. If there's big news, we'll come on the air again about this story. But I want to really also quickly say, we are a viewer-supported network. We rely on people, on your support to keep us on the air. And on a broadcast like this, for obvious reasons, we don't sit there asking for donations regularly for obvious reasons. And if it was a political broadcast, we would do that regularly. But I do want to say a quick thanks because a number of people did donate anyway, even though we weren't asking for it. So thank you, and we very much appreciate that because that keeps us on the air. And if you do, in the future, want to support Right Side Broadcasting and support having an alternative to the mainstream media, you can always contribute to Right Side Broadcasting by going to the bottom of the YouTube chat on any of our broadcasts and clicking on the $sign at the bottom of our YouTube chat. There's a little dollar symbol there. Or you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And we appreciate that because that's what allows us to be on the air and cover news for you. Again, you can follow me at Lookner on Twitter. I will post more updates on this as I hear about them. On our social media, we are at RSBN TV on Periscope, at RSB Network on Twitter, at RSB Network. Facebook and Right Side and YouTube, we're at Right Side Broadcasting. You can follow us and subscribe to us. And also, a big thank you to everybody who helped us cover the news today. You guys help us cover breaking news. We really appreciate it. So thank you to everybody who sent me articles and translations and news tips and their comments. And big thanks to the moderators in the chat room. Real Frank is there right now. Thank you to all our moderators for moderating our chats during our broadcast. So that's going to wrap up this broadcast for now. Thank you, people who are saying thank you. I cracked a mirror, said thank in Periscope. So thank you, people saying thanks. And Propus and Tia Marie and everybody else and Grumpy. So if there's more news later today, big news, we of course will come back on the air and do another live stream. But that's going to be it for now. And again, I'll post on my Twitter if I have any updates. So thank you for joining us for this live stream. Our thoughts and condolences and prayers go out to everybody affected. 3 people killed in addition to the driver, 30 injured in this horrible incident. Whatever the cause of it was a horrible incident, and you have a lot of innocent people injured or killed. So our thoughts are with everybody in Munster, Germany. So very sad incident, and we're thinking about them. All right, that's going to wrap up this stream. Thank you for joining us at Right Side Broadcasting. We will see you soon with more news here at RSBN.